Hi, this is Dominic Keating. I played Lieutenant Malcolm Reed on Enterprise, as you probably know, and you are listening to the NX7062 podcast. Enjoy.
Yes, it is time for the NX7062 podcast. Joining you this evening from a very chilly New Jersey. It's gotten cold here. In fact, I was debating whether I wanted to wear my Enterprise sweat jacket again tonight, just because my office, the window's broken, actually. So even when the heat's on, it's chilly in here. But I decided we're just going to be kind tonight. This is my favorite of all my Be Kind shirts because it's got the hologram and the rainbows. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Faith. Thank you for being here. It is definitely Monday. And before we get to my very special guest, we're going to do a real quick rundown of things that are happening Trek-wise out there. In case you all missed it on Facebook today, Denise and Michael Okuda, they are scenic artists for Star Trek. Hey, Mohammed! Yes, great guest, Melissa, and she is coming up very soon. You can say hi to her directly. Denise and Michael are getting a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Art Directors Guild. Yeah, the Art Directors Guild is giving Denise and Michael a Lifetime Achievement Award. So congratulations to them. I have met them on a couple of different occasions. They are amazing. They are talented, and they are just the sweetest couple. What else is going on in Trek stuff? Today is the 25th anniversary of my favorite Star Trek movie, First Contact, which is, as you all know, and I've said it so many times before, I consider it an Enterprise prequel. So, but no, it's great on its own. Zefram Cochrane, as played by James Cromwell, is fantastic. And Marina Sirtis, aka Deanna Troi, getting drunk, that was great too. There's no time to talk about the time. What else is going on out there in Star Trek land? Oh, right. I've been seeing these previews for a show that's coming out on CBS. I think it's January 5th, called Good Sam. I know, 25 years for First Contact. Good Sam, CBS, January 5th. Jason Isaacs is going to be in it. So if you missed Lorca from Disco and you just want to kind of see his adorable face, you can check him out in his new show, Good Sam. Hopefully that won't mean he can't return as Lorca to Disco, but obviously he has a new full-time gig. Thanks, Mohammed. And it gets borne out. I mean, seriously, the first episode, Broken Bow, they actually had they had Cochrane in Broken Bow, so it's totally an Enterprise prequel. Hello, Magic Lasso. I feel like I was just talking to you at some point. Thanks for popping in. All right, so I've caught y'all up on a couple of little bits and pieces of Star Trek news, and there's more Star Trek news to talk about. But I promised my guest that I wouldn't talk about this without her. So without further ado, the one, the only, Malissa Longo. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Faith said hi. I know you were kind of sitting in the green room.
Yes. Hi, Faith. Hi, Mohammed. Hi, Magic Lasso.
Yes, Magic Lasso. I don't think you've had the pleasure. Magic Lasso is one of my very good friends. He's amazing. And in case you can't tell by his name, he is a huge Wonder Woman fan.
Oh.
And he is also my comic guru. Anything comic book related, he is the man to go to. And he has his own YouTube channel, hence Magic Lasso. So you can follow him on YouTube if you want an education in comics or you're a comic book fan. Nice. So, yeah. So he's always fun. And you know what's really funny is where he's getting his Trek education here because he was never really a Trek person. So.
Oh, I think we should remedy that.
Working on it. We are working on it. It's slowly but surely. Yes. Seventh Rule Podcast, which should be
my shirt.
Oh, there you go. It's Monday night, so the Seventh Rule should be wrapping up. They should be wrapping up soon. And that's a Malissa Longo original, isn't it? What you're wearing?
It is. Yes, soon to be available.
All right, because I don't want you to forget, and because I am dying to hear this question. We were talking before the show started about something completely not Star Trek related. But what is it that you wanted me to remind you to talk about with fried plantains?
Oh, yes, fried plantains. Or as my mother calls it, plátanos. Plátanos. Yes. Um, is who in the Star Trek universe do you think would order fried plantains?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Hmm.
Are we talking an actual Star Trek character or like an okay.
Or both. Why
Honestly, you know what? Why don't I keep this Enterprise related? I bet your Phlox would eat fried plantains because Phlox was always about the Earth food. So I gotta keep it Enterprise related, obviously. So I would definitely and any Vulcan I think would enjoy it. So T'Pol or Spock, considering the fact that they're vegetarians, they would probably at least give it a go.
Oh, that would work. Yeah.
Maybe Tuvok probably.
Tuvok. Well, Neelix would probably be down with trying them.
Oh, Neelix wouldn't just be. He would be down with trying to invent new ways to do it. He wouldn't just be like, "This is boring. Yeah. Let me find some really weird way to do
it." Let's yes. Let's find new ways to cook green bananas.
yes, that would definitely be Neelix. As far as actors, I don't know. I don't know any of the actors' dietary.
No. Well,
I don't. You eat them because we had them the last time I was out in California, or you gave them to me. You gave me yours or something. I don't remember.
Partly, yeah.
Yeah, you shared.
Shared.
You shared. Because when I was last time,
I grew up with them. My mother would cook them in many different ways. So, Latin households, those are a staple.
That is probably very true. He would add weird spices.
That's Mohammed.
I bet Trip would like them. They're fried. Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Now, see, that's a weird question. The next time I could ask the actors next time I have a podcast interview. Okay, so Melissa, I want to know, would you just find out like get the actors that we're friendly with to vote on that?
Yeah.
You have to ask Sirach on the next 7th rule. You'll just have to ask Sirach.
I will. Yeah. And I bet Nana would make some killer
Nana would kick ass making them. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. I would have to agree with that. But yeah, I bet you Nikki, I'd like to think maybe Nikki DeBoer would try them.
Well, yeah, I think they'd all be open to trying them.
Yeah, it's just a question of would she like them. But yeah, I could see that though. But that's a very good question. I like that. That's a good way to kick it off. But so the other thing we have in common besides fried plantains is
I agree. Yes. Mohammed. Oh yes. Woo! And Magic Lasso. Those are great answers.
And look he is learning. He knows that Whoopi Goldberg was in Star Trek, so he gets gold stars for that. The other thing we have in common is we were both at the Star Trek Discovery premiere last Wednesday. Mm-hmm. It was a little gift to the fans from Paramount. You had to email them. It was great. It was so much fun. They acted like we were all Starfleet Academy cadets, which was great. They even sent us all little gifts. We all got these little pins in the mail, these little chairs. And I haven't shared it yet, but you got to take your picture on a little Starfleet background, like a little Starfleet badge.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
But here's the thing. I had promised no spoilers out of respect for all our friends abroad who found out in the shittiest way possible that they weren't going to see Discovery until 2022. And it looks like, from what I understand, it really actually wasn't Paramount per se. I never researched this, but it looks like Netflix wanted exclusivity. So in other words, Netflix was like, well, we want to be the only people running this. And Paramount was like, well, that's not going to happen.
So yeah, it sounds I don't know. I keep hearing different things.
Yeah. So regardless, you have to figure that the deal was done and axed before that 48-hour notice. So that was kind of crap. That was really shitting on Paramount's part to not tell anybody.
Yeah.
So just out of respect for them, I'm not doing spoilers, but there were a couple things that I feel like I can mention tonight, and then I won't talk about Discovery again until I'm going to have a season finale discussion, and then that'll be the only spoiler time, and that way I'll put spoiler alert all over that one. But the first thing I want to mention, of course, and I'm sure everybody who was there, because I think Muhammad was there too.
Yes, Muhammad was there. I saw him in the chat.
They have an Archer space dock now.
Yes, they do.
And when they announced it, they actually played Archer's theme.
Yes.
Which was used in the ending credits for the show, and happens to be some of my favorite music from the show. So, you know what? I think if they had just said, here's the Archer space dock, I wouldn't have gotten as emotional as I did. It was the music that I was just like, oh.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah, see?
It was a lovely bit of nostalgia, and it was like, oh, what a touching moment.
Oh, well, that's great, Faith. They got the pin. Yay!
Woohoo!
Let's see. I have to go back to this one. I think you have to have a stronger version to bananas to not want to try them. I mean, anything fried. This is very true. This is very true.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad said, the South fries everything. So, fried catfish, fried plantains. Absolutely. Vote for Trip. The other thing, and I just want to say this to anybody out there who is watching it, who didn't get to go to the premiere, because the premiere, we actually got that second episode. We've seen 2 so far. And the only other thing that I will say, and this is actually meant to be helpful, not a spoiler, they mentioned something from Picard in the second episode. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen Picard, it's going to go over your head. And it's actually going to be a big spoiler, too. Let's admit that what they said in Discovery is a kind of a Picard spoiler. Mm-hmm. So if you're out there and you see this before the second episode premiere, which is this Thursday, if you haven't watched Picard or have no desire to watch Picard, you've been warned. There's a Picard mention that you need to know before you see it, which means you can either skip watching Discovery and just binge watch Picard, or just know that something's going to get spoiled. But I feel like that's like a public service announcement for anybody that hasn't seen Picard yet.
Yeah. Just binge watch Picard.
Just binge watch Picard between now and the time that you watch the second episode of Discovery. If you haven't watched Picard yet, A, it's amazing. B, literally a spoiler. Literally. So
yeah, it is a spoiler.
It's a big one. It's a big spoiler if you haven't seen it already. But I mean, it was great. I mean, I that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say it was great. I really enjoyed it, and the cat was in it. Grudge was in it, so of course I was happy.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I think most people need to see Grudge.
I love Grudge.
Yeah. Don't ask. Nope. Sorry, Faith. If you want to message me or Melissa or privately, if you want to DM me on Facebook, that's totally fine. But that's it. That is all I'm going to say about Discovery until the end of the season, and then I will make a big deal about having an episode. Just out of respect for anybody that hasn't seen it or might stumble upon this podcast at some point. I don't want them to. They have enough. I think the people that aren't going to see it have enough to avoid. So they have enough to avoid between Facebook and Twitter. So.
Yeah.
Yay, Grudge. Yes, we all love the Queen. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And her floofy fur.
Oh my God. I made the mistake of watching it. Well, sort of a mistake. There's this really great movie on Amazon with Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's an Amazon Prime original about this. It's the life of this artist from the Victorian age of England, and it's Lewis Waite. It's like Lewis Waite and his electrical something, and it was amazing and sad. And Benedict Cumberbatch, which is the reason that I watched it.
Of course.
I was looking for something to watch, and I just wasn't really ready for like the sad parts, but it had a lot of cats in it. It was kind of like this guy kind of made cats fashionable to have as pets, because prior to him kind of bringing cats into the mainstream, people had them as mousers, but never like in-house pets.
Oh,
so
interesting.
So I think you would like it, Melissa. I mean, again, Benedict Cumberbatch and cats and
Yeah.
stuff. And artist. He was an artist. So
Nice.
All right, Lasso. Yeah. Your favorite Amazon is Wonder Woman. Which Melissa does custom artwork, Lasso, so maybe you could talk to her about doing you some custom Wonder Woman bracelets or something.
That would be fun.
Some binary code Wonder Woman bracelets in like red, blue, and yellow. So for anybody here that doesn't know, and like I mentioned before, Melissa designed the shirt she's wearing.
Yes. Oh, it's...
There we go. The seventh broadcast.
The seventh rule.
And in case anybody else out there doesn't know, because she and I were having this conversation prior to that, I am not in competition with any other podcast. Because there's so much Star Trek to go around. So, and because I love everybody over at the Seventh Rule. So that goes without saying too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
And who just launched, the Seventh Rule just launched a campaign, Indiegogo campaign, to expand its viewership. So if you haven't checked that out, you should go check that out.
And there's a link on their Facebook page.
Yes. On the
and
Seventh
you can
Rule.
Donate as little as $1, but there's some awesome perks if you can donate more than $1. You guys hit your goal in what, like 2 hours or something ridiculous? Like you had the goal set out for 2 days, and like within the first like 2 hours, you hit your funding goal.
Yeah.
According to Faith, it's already over 14K.
Yeah, bananas.
You guys have some. And like I said, I don't see any reasons for any sort of, competition between podcasts, even though you guys are on, technically like the last 20 minutes on a Monday night overlap with my first, but that's okay.
And then there's this thing called YouTube where you can rewatch videos.
Go figure. I mean, as much as I love having people here with me live, you can actually rewatch this. I mean, you don't get to talk to me, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, the last however many, there's just a 20-minute overlap. Yeah,
exactly. It's literally like the last 20 minutes of you guys and my first. I mean, Muhammad makes it. He doubles up on me.
Right?
A couple.
Awesome, though.
We love Muhammad. We absolutely love Muhammad. No, I love everybody. I mean, I think one of my favorite things about Trek Vegas, I mean, I've seen all the time, but getting to see Sirach for the first time after having like met him and talked to him and interviewed him and everything, it was really nice. Like I'd met him once before, but now we kind of knew each other, so that was awesome.
Yeah. It was nice to love you, Muhammad.
Oh yes, absolutely. All the loves to Muhammad. Yeah, got to see Muhammad in Vegas.
Muhammad and I were table mates.
Oh yeah, you had no real estate. You were just like the nomad of Trek Vegas. It was awesome. It's just like you kept like.
Wow, but it was fun because we were right next to Gigi Edgley, and she's fun too. So.
Oh God, yeah. And then what was it like? Was it Sunday that I went over to talk to you, and Hana Hate just happened to be there? It was like, yay, more people that I know.
Yeah.
Because we're. See, you guys have to do better on Facebook. Because Faith comes here because I guess Facebook notifies her more than me. I love that.
Gotcha.
I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to get my ass to Chicago. I mean, I already have my room booked for STLV, which I'm excited about.
Oh, nice.
Which, by the way, right now they have 15 guests already. And Mission Chicago still has like 6. Only has 6.
Wow.
So as badly as I want to go to Chicago because I've never been, I'm wondering if the convention's even going to be worth it because Chicago is one very expensive town. But that's like Magic Lasso territory. He lives within driving distance.
Nice.
So, and I haven't seen Lasso in years. We worked in country music together, so I used to see him once a year.
Oh.
He used to work at a radio station, and I used to call him, bug him to play my artist songs because I used to promote country music.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that's how we became friends because I used to call him, bug him, and then I'd be like, play my artist songs. All right, now can we talk about comic books? That was literally how our conversations went for the most part.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you both still into country music?
I am. I still like it, but I think he is more into it than I am. I love. Yeah, see, exactly. So if I was in Chicago, I'd like to think that I would be worth the day trip to come up to Chicago, at least for like a lunch or something.
Yes.
I always kind of liked country music. I mean, I hated it, and then I started really liking it, and then I started working in it, and then I stopped working in it, and I still kind of like it, but there's just not a lot. See, there's not a lot of new country. Just really doesn't resonate with me. I'm still like stuck in the '90s, like Brooks and Dunn and
Oh, interesting.
Toby Keith. I've seen Toby Keith in concert. Toby's amazing. Love Toby Keith. Do you like country music?
I like some country music artists. Well, mainly one.
Oh.
Dolly Parton.
Oh, you would get along so well with our friend Jim. Jim.
I love Dolly.
Oh, Ryan knows who I'm talking about. Jim is a sweetheart. He's a huge Dolly fan. And Ryan can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he's met her at least once.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Jim's worked in country music since Moses was a pup, basically. So, yeah, see, Boot Scoot and Boogie. Oh
my gosh.
I was there when yes, you were. All right. And I'm dating myself, but I know there's a couple. See, where's War Dog when you need him? Because I know he's about my age. Michael Martin Murphey did. He basically had two hits, but the one that I love from when I was a kid is called Wildfire. And I loved that song, and I was sitting in a cafe. I think it was like the last time I attended this country radio seminar down in Nashville, and I'm sitting there, and Lasso comes over to me. He's like, you know who that is? It was literally like one table over. I said, who? He goes, Michael Martin Murphey. I'm like, oh my God, the guy that sang Wildfire? I was like, I know who that is, so I actually went over and talked to him. So, nice. Yeah, hey, Jean, thanks so much for joining us. This is Jean's second week here. Thanks so much.
Well, hello there.
All right, wait. He had two. The other. the other. Oh, what the hell's the name of the other song? What's Forever For is the other Michael Martin Murphey song that I know is What's Forever For.
So, okay, sing a few bars because I don't know the song.
Which one? Wildfire?
Sure.
Oh,
or
God.
The other.
Oh, God. Let me think. God, I haven't sung. Anybody that knows I do karaoke, and I have not done karaoke since probably the last time we were in Vegas. Yeah. That had karaoke, which was 2019 because they canceled it this year. Right. For bingo. Oh my God, bingo. Yeah, ha ha ha. Let Lasso just type it. She ran. I can't wait. She came down from Yellow Mountain on a dark flat land. She rides on a pony she named Wildfire, and a whirlwind fires. Oh my God, I am so off. I'm going to shut up now.
No, I've never heard the song.
I will share it with you on Spotify. I'm not going to finish singing it. It came out in the mid 70s. But speaking of horses, there was a Western episode in the third season of Enterprise where they had to ride horses. Trip was really funny. Yeah, they ended up on a planet where it was like the Old West because aliens had come and stolen people off of Earth and took them out to their planet to be slaves.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Scott Jensen.
Oh, well, there you go. Somebody else that can talk about. There we go. Hi, Scott. Thanks for joining us. I don't know. Maybe Scott knows Wildfire. It was a huge 70s hit.
Well, he said he was released in the mid.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that maybe that helps. Maybe somebody that was released there in the same time that I was would know the song. Not that it has anything to do with Star Trek, except that I was able to bring it back around because Westerns.
Westerns and Enterprise.
And Connor was actually in a really bad Western that I think it was called like A Good Day to Die, which ironically we all know is a Klingon saying, but it was just a really bad movie. He got arrested and then some rich guy bailed him out so that he could hunt him. He's like, I bailed you out, but now you've got to run for your life. And it's just him running around the woods in a cowboy hat.
Wow.
Yep.
Go Connor.
Things I will not talk to them about. It's like, because it was bad. It was really bad. Wow. All right, well, let's see, Scott. Late 70s, but I remember it from nights in this. Yeah, there you go. It was around for a while.
Gosh.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. I appreciate.
I haven't been to a skating rink in I don't know how long.
The 80s,
skating
probably
rink?
For me. High school, so the 80s for me.
I think the 90s for me, but I don't know.
So what is new in the art world of Melissa? Do you have anything new and exciting that you've been working on?
Well, kind of. I've got a few things that are in the works. Like this is new. I mean, it's from Vegas, but I made it for Vegas, but I will be putting up on my website very soon.
Which, look, see, if anybody wants to know the website.
Yay!
They could just go there.
Woo!
Like I can't find my Enterprise bracelet. I still can't find my Enterprise wraparound bracelet. Whoa. I have the anklet and I don't know where the bracelet went.
Oh.
I might have to order another one.
Well, and then there's a new bracelet coming very soon.
So maybe I'll wait and get the new one. Because you know what's going to happen is once I order a new one, that it's going to show up.
Yeah.
The other one's going to show up.
That's the way it goes.
I remember it. I remember packing it when we left Vegas. I just don't remember what happened to it. Because I had the wraparound and then I had the matching anklet. I was all excited.
Yeah.
And they both spelled out Star Trek Enterprise in case anybody was wondering. Actually, let's explain this for anybody that's new, like Lasso. Besides all this amazing artwork that you do these custom designed binary bracelets. Right. You take beads and using binary code, you spell out things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You spell
out
their eyes. Some earrings to go with that. Oh, you do earrings, don't you? Don't you do the teardrop?
I haven't done any earrings yet, but there are earrings in the works as well. Yeah.
Cool, because for my friend Wendy's birthday, I got her your teardrop necklace with the binary code that had STTNG, because TNG was her favorite.
Right.
Although she is rewatching Enterprise, so I know she's not going to have that as her favorite, but she is rewatching Enterprise.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, if you come out with earrings, you solve all of my geeky gift giving stuff because I can just get it from you. Like I got Wendy. That was her birthday present, and she loved it.
Yeah.
So I would have to do that. Let's see. What else do you have? Well, you have the T-shirts, and then you have the noggins. Am I getting that right? They're called noggins.
Yeah. I mean, the nog ones are noggins, but in general, they're Trekkins.
Trekkins.
Yeah. So they're little clay figurines that right now I only have Deep Space Nine characters.
Promise me you'll do Enterprise next just because I asked.
I'll see what I can do. But
I would totally be I would buy you out if you did. I would want one of everybody from Trek.
yeah. Yes, humans are more difficult to do because they're not as
true.
characteristically diverse
Gotcha.
as the aliens.
Yeah, see, Faith and I just, see, it is the best. Enterprise is the best. It absolutely is. And,
well, I don't know about the best, but it is pretty good.
Listen, you're allowed to be biased, so I'm going to assume you're going to say Deep Space Nine is the best.
Of course.
I'm not going to try and convince you. We both have our reasons for being biased, so let's just...
Of course, but Deep Space Nine is the best.
Whatever.
Put them up. Oh my
god, I just watched The Wizard of Oz last night. That's so funny. It was on TBS. I'm like, I haven't watched this in a while. So I got the end of it. No, you're allowed. I'll let you slide. I won't like boot you out of the stream.
Keep your ears open.
See, Scott gets me. Because that is literally my feeling too.
Oh my god!
That he is the end all be all and the only reason I watch. No,
yeah. But DS9 is home.
DS9 is home. Yes,
it is.
DS9. There was a gay Trek Geeks, which is one of the pages that I follow because of my work with Lambda Quadrant. They put up a poll: who would you want to be stuck in a shuttle pod with? And they make this whole thing: you're drunk, you've got pheromones all over you because you were just hanging out with the Orion. And I was like, and I'm looking. And Trip, of course, is winning the poor poll. Poor Malcolm only had like 4 votes. I'm like, yeah.
I would have voted for T'Pol. Personally.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to vote for Malcolm, and then I went, oh, wait, not fair, gay Trek Geeks. I can't. That's not fair for me to chime in on this. So,
well,
I'm not even sure if T'Pol was on there. I think it was all the men. I think it was just men for men. But yeah.
But for men, I would have gone for Travis.
Yeah, he was second. He was absolutely second. I actually think Anthony Montgomery looks better now than he did back.
Oh my gosh, he's stunning.
He's beautiful.
Yes.
And yes, Malcolm is the most underrated character. See, Scott, I am loving you. I am loving you already. Gene would vote for T'Power Kira. So that's cool. Yeah.
All right.
Kira, yeah. Listen. Nana. Yeah.
She's just. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just. Yeah. Especially.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the Mirror Universe, Kira just adds that extra level of bad girl sexy because we all know bad girls and bad boys are always sexy. Listen, I love Mirror Universe Malcolm. Because him and Mirror Universe Phlox created the agonizing chamber, which I always thought was like the coolest thing. For anybody that is into the original series, they introduced the agonizer chamber in TOS in Mirror. And then and then they don't really do anything. And then they got this really awesome idea when they did the Inner Mirror Darkly Enterprise that Major Reed and Dr. Phlox created it. And I always thought that was kind of cool.
I agree. Kira is my all-time favorite too, Scott.
Bones.
Hands down.
I mean, all-time favorite? That's hard. I mean, I got into Star Trek from TOS. That was my gateway drug, was the original series. But I never really had like a favorite character. Like I never really like jumped up. There's felines, or there are felines. In case anybody's wondering, I just hear noises. I don't have, but nobody's jumped up on the desk yet. Yeah. I mean, Malcolm and Trip are probably my top 2. But that also has to do with like getting to know Connor and Dominic. And I think so that kind of, you know, has a place in my heart for me. You know, like if I had met Leonard Nimoy, that could be, you know, because I think that influences who your favorite characters. Like if you met, I feel like if you went to a convention and you had a favorite character and then you met the actor that played them and they were a jerk to you, I think that would influence, like you might be willing to be like, wow, you're not my favorite character anymore because the person that plays you is a dick.
Yeah, I mean, depending on if they're doing their job right, because I get that, but yeah, if you can't separate the actor from the character.
Well, I think, I mean, no, but see, that's the thing. It's like, I can separate the actor from the character. Absolutely. But I still think that if you had an emotional connection to the character and the actor that played them spoiled that for you by not being a decent person, you know, you might get over it. You might eventually come back around to that character. Yeah. But I think that even if you can separate it, I think if the actor is not nice to you, it would, because you wouldn't be able. Of
course, because you have an emotional, a personal experience with them that would supersede the other.
Yeah, you know. Exactly. All right. The only reason I am doing this lasso is because the last time I did this, I actually got mentioned on another podcast. But for anybody that this has to do with another podcast. Foo Is a Furry is a guy that is on another comic book podcast. And the last time I said Foo Is a Furry, he actually mentioned my show on his podcast.
So what is Foo Is a Furry?
It's this guy Foo that hosts one of the co-hosts of a comic book podcast, and he is actually a furry. And for anybody that doesn't know what a furry is, it is a person that enjoys dressing up as a furry creature, and they have their own conventions. Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of very cool. I think it's kind of like a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their thing. So
yeah, it's a very cool thing. Mm-hmm. All right, so never meet your heroes, but I've never had that problem with Trek people. I met Keith Morris from Black Flag, and it was not a good time. All right, this is probably going to get another reaction from Lasso. I never liked Brandon Roush as Superman. Just was never a fan of his Superman. I thought he was terrible. I thought the entire movie was terrible. I've had this conversation a lot of times with a lot of different people. But then I met Brandon Roush, and I met him twice. I was going to give him, and he was a jerk both times. So it's like, I didn't like you as Superman. I sort of liked you as the Atom in DC Legends of Tomorrow. I was kind of okay with you there. But yeah, he was a jerk. 2 conventions, 2 separate occasions, and he was not nice either time. So I think that's the only, and I did have one bad encounter with John Delancey, and I think I've mentioned this before. It was in the Pennsylvania Hotel. It was one of Creation's earlier conventions back when you didn't pay for autographs because your ticket price covered everything. But the air conditioning was out in the hotel. And it was hot as hell. And John Delancey has a never-ending line. And I asked him about Days of Our Lives, and he snapped at me. And I was so disappointed. But then I met him again in 2016, and he was really nice. And I got something in about Days of Our Lives when I met him. And he was very sweet about it. And so, that basically, it was really easy to say, that was a one-off. He was just having a bad day, and he had 1 million people to sign for. But in general, yeah, let's see what Faith has to say. Hold on. Having a negative memory is definitely, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But besides John Delancey and Brandon, I've never really had a bad encounter, where I've walked away and been like, with somebody. Henry Winkler gave me a kiss on the cheek the last time I talked to him. So Fonzie has kissed me on the cheek. So let's see, Faith. All humans, yes, and that's the thing. we are all humans, and that's why I was willing to be like, it was hot and the line was forever, and John Delancey, like, that's why I would have given Brandon a second chance too, but he was a dick both times. So after being mean twice, you kind of, and the second time I was paying him a compliment. I was telling him how much I enjoyed him, you know, the chemistry between everybody on DC Legends of Tomorrow. He like blew me off. He's like, oh, I'm like, really, dude? Like, you can't even take a compliment. You can't just say thank you. So
yeah,
he was a piss poor Superman. You know, I mean, maybe other people out there have had really good experiences with him, but I haven't. So
yeah. Sometimes they're just those people that are not very kind, though.
Mm-hmm.
And
have you ever had
maybe one or two that weren't very kind, but and I'm not going to mention any names.
No, no, you're fine. No.
One was from the Star Trek universe, and that person wasn't very kind to Aaron, and that always ticks me off. If anybody was unkind to Aaron,
how can anybody be unkind to Aaron? Like, let's start with like the basis of how can you be unkind to Aaron? Aaron is one of the sweetest people on the planet. Was one of the sweetest people.
Yeah.
So
they were just being and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they were just being a dick in order to be a dick, and it's just like, okay, you've spoiled, like you said before, you've spoiled everything that I've ever watched you in now, because I've seen this person and stuff before, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, hold on. Scott's got something to say. Try to remember that a lot of people are living that exact moment. It's why positive encounter is so good. Yeah, and I mean, and this is one of the things that I preach in my Convention 101 podcast, is that everybody's human. And Melissa, I know, you know, all the conventions you attended with Aaron. Aaron talks to everybody, and he makes them all feel amazing. You made them all feel amazing because he was just one of those, you know, he wanted everybody to feel valued and important when they came up and talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always stressed, like, don't overstay your welcome. And I'm sure even Aaron at some point would have to go to the bathroom, or his voice. We all know his voice would go. So there comes a point where you have to read. It's like, don't spoil. Like, you finally get to meet your actor that you've wanted to meet from Star Trek for forever, and it's quiet, and you're having a moment, and you're having this really great exchange, but then somebody bops up in line behind you, or the actor starts to get fidgety because, like, you know, they want to stop, or they need to pee, or they need to panel, and you still keep talking. You're going to take what is like the most amazing moment and the amazing interaction, and if you can't figure out that your 15 minutes is up, you're going to spoil it, because then you're going to have somebody that has to kind of turn a little, like, this was great, but somebody's behind you, or this was great, but I've got to be at a pan, you know? So I always stress that that if you're not careful as a convention goer, through no real fault of your own, you can turn what is an amazing moment into something negative, because you're always going to remember, like, that last minute where somebody had to tell you to stop talking.
Well, yeah. I mean, what Aaron would do he wouldn't tell people to stop talking, or if he did have to go to a panel or one, there was usually a handler that would come and get us
and play the bad guy, which is always a good thing.
Well, not just that, but Aaron would be like, you know, I have to go do this thing, but come back and talk to me later because I want to hear the rest of your story.
Right.
So,
Aaron was just a rarity, because a lot of the other actors wouldn't necessarily be so nice. And not that it's anybody's fault, but just like, you're keeping me from money because you're holding up a line of people that also want to buy my autograph.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yes, but people get in that awestruck moment where it's like, you want to make this connection with this person that you admire so much.
Yes.
And then everything you want to say goes out, you know, your ears. You
Absolutely. I got that way with Meatloaf when I met Meatloaf. But it's just it's a balance that you really have to strike, because like I said, like, you're making that connection, you're having the most amazing moment, but there's going to come a point where that moment needs to end.
Sure.
And that's where you kind of have to know, because better for you to say, oh my God, this has been so amazing, thank you so much, and walk away and have it all be good, than have the person that you've been dying to meet be like, you gotta go. Because I know from personal experience, some of them are not as nice at telling you to go as others. Just because.
Yeah.
So like I said, you could be having the most amazing 5 minutes, but like that last 10 seconds, if they have to tell you to move along, that's all you're going to remember. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, because that's Lasso's wheelhouse. Yeah, there you go. That's another thing. He only wants to meet Linda Carter once in his life, because, and I get that. I totally get that, because I've asked him about that. Not me. I will talk to anybody multiple times just to see if they remember me, and then I don't get hurt if they don't. But I've done that before. Hey, we've chatted. I don't know if you remember me. And then you can always tell when they're lying, when they're like, yeah, I remember. You're like, no, you don't.
Yeah, I never assume anybody remembers me. And then I'm like, oh, you remember me? Wow, thanks.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. Like the first time that when I've talked to people and they've been like, oh yeah, I remember you from blah, and I'm like, really? Oh my God. All right, hold on. I haven't seen Aaron's Way with people. Literally been in. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, Aaron really was an inspiration, I like to think. Like I said, I mean, the first time I met him was at Shore Leave a couple years ago. He and Chase did Shore Leave, and they were so cute. They did the little party dance. They did the little Ferengi dance on stage together. Which was so cute. And then you weren't there.
No, I wasn't.
That's the one you didn't get.
Unfortunately.
But we just had an amazing conversation, and then I moved on and talked to Chase and had an amazing. And then the next time was in Albany.
Yeah.
And Aaron's like, yeah, of course I remember you, and it's like, wow.
He would have.
No, that's just like I said. He's amazing. He was amazing. That's just kind of. I keep talking about him in the present tense because you just kind of feel like he's still.
Yeah. Yeah. He is kind of still here.
Absolutely.
In a way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the seventh rule was his.
Yes.
Obviously, that carries on, and you guys are doing so much to remember him. Like September was all about remembering. I mean, so if anybody, for all those Aaron fans out there, if you haven't already, you need to check out. I mean, you should check out the Seventh Rule podcast all the time, every time. September was specifically for Aaron. So.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, he's definitely still a part of the Seventh Rule, and I'm so grateful for Ryan and Sirach for doing all the amazing work that they do and keeping it going and allowing me to be a part of it and come along and help carry on the legacy as well. So,
and they're just, I mean, between the three of you, there's definitely that legacy of love and warmth and connection with the fans. That was so much of the reason why they started it. Seventh Rule. It's spiffy. I like that. It is spiffy.
It is a spiffy show.
It's spiffy. I like that. There you go. Faith has an amazing memory.
Yay!
I will say this. Aaron told me that the Seventh Rule was going to move on to Enterprise after Deep Space Nine. He did tell me that in that interview that I did with him after Vegas in 2019.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Just saying. I have it on tape. Just because he said I could come on. He's like, you can come on and talk about it. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, anytime that I can come and gush about Enterprise. But you know what? I have my own show to do that too, which I get to do every week. But it's not like
yes.
I want to spread the Enterprise love everywhere. Oh, that's so
Thanks,
sweet.
Scott.
Because it's like, well, so if holidays are coming up for that special Trekkie on your list, are you available to do holiday orders? Can you still do holiday commissions if somebody needs something?
I don't know. The holiday orders are kind of tricky because all of my stuff, everything that's ordered on my website is handmade by me, and I am a one-woman show, and I do have I have 2 other jobs that I do outside of my website, and then all of the online stuff. So yeah,
gotta keep Mochi and cat food. So yeah, you gotta.
Yes, I do have to keep her fed, her belly fed. So so sometimes orders can take a while to be finished because like right now, just 1 second, I'm gonna grab what I'm working on right now.
Oh, absolutely. I can vamp.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason my my echo just went off. That was weird. Oh, that was quick. I thought you'd be gone longer.
And it might. Oops. And it might get blurred because it's green, but so I'm hand painting this, and it's oops.
I was gonna say the arm's getting in the way. Hashtag go. I can't.
Gorn to be wild.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I love that. I love that. Gorn to be wild.
Gorn to be wild. So it's not done yet. But
Scott thinks it's
painting it.
Scott thinks it's brilliant. Faith would be happy to wait for orders. I mean, that's the thing. I've done things for people, like you order them and then you just put a little IOU in like a Christmas card and you're just like, I got you something from Melissa, and you'll get it when you get it and you will love it. And then you just
yeah. So they're not mass produced, so it's not like I can,
Right. All right. I just want to take a poll from the studio audience because I can. For obviously there's some Enterprise people out there, and we were talking about the Mirror Universe earlier. In the Mirror Universe in Enterprise, they had a Gorn, and it was CGI. It was all, so it looked a whole hell of a lot different than the guy in the paper mache head from TOS. So, but there's been a lot of people are like, oh my god, what did they do? They've completely messed up the Gorn. It's like, no, they did things that Gene Roddenberry couldn't do. In 2004, they had this technology to make like a walking, and he had like a serpentine head. It wasn't just, he had a really cool serpentine head. And you had to wait for a while. It was a 2-part episode. And then they really made you wait. Like they told you it was a Gorn, and you knew that there was a Gorn on the ship, but then they made you wait until they did the big reveal. So anyway, what do you guys out there that have seen the Gorn on Enterprise think? Do you think, oh my god, they ruined it because they did the whole CGI thing? Or do you think, oh my god, that's so cool because they were able to do that?
Well, yeah, but I think that's tricky too, because there's things that you grow accustomed to, or a characteristic of an alien, that if you get rid of that characteristic of this particular alien that you've invested your imagination into,
yes,
and then somebody suddenly changes it, then it's like, okay, this isn't who I've grown to know.
Right, and it's just like, it's exactly what Faith, the Klingons, and everybody was in an uproar between the Klingons in TOS and then the Klingons in the movie. Look, and then they went a little further in TNG, and then they explained it all in Enterprise again. Yay! They explained it all in Enterprise, the whole thing with the virus, which I always thought was amazing. So, and I've said this so many times before, it's like, you have to look at it this way. If Gene Roddenberry could have done what they've done now, if he could have done that in 1966 and delivered that higher quality special effects thing, I mean, look at what they did. And I just said this really recently. I mean, if you sit and watch the original movie, the motion picture, I really feel like half the special effects were just done because they could. It's like, look at look at the budget and the computer stuff and the shit we can do now. So let's just really drag out all the special effects that we couldn't do because it was 1966. So
yeah, I get that. I get that to a point, but then there's a point for me where it's like, okay, I don't need all of the extra bells and whistles just because you can do it.
Right.
I want, with some continuity. I do want some continuity and then some,
right. Well, I think Lucas really proved that, because there's very little of the updated original trilogy that I like. It's like, because that really was, oh, well, look what I can do now that I couldn't do back in 1977. So yeah, I get that he made the bar a little bit different in the canteen. He made the canteen a little bit different. I will tell you that I liked the fact that they put Ian McDiarmid in as the Emperor in Empire Strikes Back, because he hadn't been cast for Return of the Jedi until after Empire Strikes Back. So to me, that's a fix. But putting Hayden Christensen in at the end of Return of the Jedi, taking out the Ewok song at the end, taking out the song, the original song from Jabba's Palace, which I actually could sing too, but I won't. So there was a lot of things. So yeah, I definitely, because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
So I agree. But by the same token, there are certain things, like, you can't, like, if you made the NX-01 look worse or older than the original NCC, then people would have been like, what the hell is this crap? So you have to find that balance,
of course,
between the modern aesthetic and then taking it too far, and just because you can.
That's one of the things that I think that Enterprise did really well was the ship. I mean, it felt like a natural progression of where the TOS would go. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it felt like you were on the spaceship, but it also kind of felt like you're on a submarine. So it wouldn't have all of the same bells and whistles that,
right. Yeah. Right, but I mean, if you put this bridge next to the original bridge, obviously the original bridge looks older, even though it's not supposed to. But again, yeah, you're right. They made it technically, it looks newer, but it doesn't have the bells and whistles that the original Enterprise had.
Right. It just feels like an honest beginning spaceship. Yeah.
Exactly. Lower Decks opened up different types of Gorn. I don't think so. I know they did the whatchamacallit.
I love Lower Decks.
Oh, me too. They did the white guys with the little horns, which now I can't remember what they were.
Yes.
Yeah. Magatus. Something like that.
Something like that.
But I don't, the Gorn, I'm trying to remember if they, what Gorn, Magatus, but I can't remember what Gorn they did in Lower Decks, if they did. I'm sorry if it...
Gorn in Lower Decks. And then, Scott, didn't you add a llama to the Gorn in Lower Decks? I feel like
8 minutes looking at the ship in the motion picture was because we could. Yeah, exactly. That 20-minute shuttle pod ride around was just a bit much. Let's see what else. Oh, Scott said something about Ewoks. They mess with the Ewoks. They mess with me. I take a blaster shot for my little bear homies. You are in the minority. So many people hated the Ewoks. I didn't.
I didn't.
No, I love the Ewoks, but so many people were.
Jeffrey the llama, yes.
Oh, okay. Faith was thinking of the Magatu. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. The NX design was perfection. Thank you, Doug. It really was.
Yes.
It really was Jeffrey the llama. There we go. See, the bridge, it was absolute perfection. And in fact, just in case anybody doesn't know this and they're, want to collect and they're collectors out there or whatever, you can actually get the different stations with different action figures, and they talk. You push the button and you get, so like you can get like the tactical station, and you push the button and Reed talks to you, or you can get, so that's fun stuff. I have an Enterprise Christmas ornament, and it has a base, and if you push the button on the base, you get Captain Archer telling me whether to take her out, take her out. Goofy stuff like that. Oh, look, see, Faith likes the Ewoks too.
Yeah, I like
Wicket, good old Wicket. Loved Wicket. They were supposed to be Wookiees, and then they changed their minds at the last minute.
Oh.
Maybe not so last minute. Yeah, it was supposed to be Wookiees. It was supposed to be a whole colony of Wookiees, and then they decided to go to throw them all in the dryer, miniaturize them, and turn them into cucumber. Which, obviously, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, then you had all the furry stuffed Ewoks you could sell. They spun them off into cartoons and their own movie.
Hello, Tribbles.
Yeah, exactly. I have somewhere, I think I have an Ewok movie poster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know what possessed me to buy it, except I guess I'm like, oh, you don't see that every day. You see like Return of the Jedi and whatever, but you don't usually see the Ewok movie poster every day. So yeah, somewhere. I don't hang movie posters anymore. It was probably from like my first apartment. I had movie posters all over my first apartment like a million years ago. So, okay. So everybody who has a Trek person, okay, gotta let Lasso have this one really quick. There we go. Did not know that. The only one I know was, God, who played Wicket? Now his name's like completely out of my head. Now I feel really guilty because he even had his own. Warwick Davis. There we go. Warwick Davis played Wicket.
Yeah. Okay. Magic Lasso's joke.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
That was great.
Maybe you should think about doing some. Yes, I said that, Lasso, but I know there's a lag.
Warwick Davis.
Davis. He had his own show on like HBO for a little while. It was really he's funny. I love Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
I like Willow.
I never saw Willow.
Oh, it's so
I know.
Good. I had a huge crush on Val Kilmer back in the day, so well
then I could see that. All right, so for anybody who's got a Trekkie on their holiday list and wants a unique piece of art, then you definitely need to check out Walking Art made by Melissa. You absolutely have to check it out. And even if they have to wait until Easter to get it, it's still
They might.
They might, but that's okay because it's all handmade and it's absolutely worth waiting for.
It is handmade.
I mean, who the hell needs to get something off of like Amazon that's, comes from some country somewhere when they can get something that's made with love from a fellow Trekkie?
Woohoo! Yeah.
Woo-hoo. So I highly recommend. And like I said, I wish I had my bracelet. It was so awesome. So I might have to. I mean, and if I have to wait till I see you at STLV, then I'll see you. Although I'm still hoping to come out to LA for Gallifrey 1.
Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
Which is a Doctor Who themed convention, which we had so much fun at because I was there with Lambda Quadrant and Pop Culture Hero Coalition back in 2020. It was right before everything got shut down. Yes, you came out. The first thing I said to you was, "Where's Mochi? I wanted you to bring the cat." Like, I want to meet this cat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, Saturday was our second anniversary.
I saw that.
So cute.
So cute. I actually have a new kid on the block. He's been here for a couple weeks. His name's Grogu. Mm-hmm. He was just in the office earlier, but he hasn't gotten to the point where he's going to jump up on the desk. Tonight's been a quiet night.
So cute.
He is. This is my little gray Furball. See, furball. Like
Fluffy,
laugh.
fluffiness.
He is a big fluff ball. Laugh it up, furball, which is from Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Podcat was actually sitting on the back of a chair in the office, but that was before we went live, so he just decided he didn't feel like coming out tonight. Lasso, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. It has been fun.
It has been fun. You can come back anytime because, you know, I just like rapping with you. As like, you know, people from my generation, like, does anybody say that anymore? No, because I'm like,
no.
I'm like Gen X or whatever.
Yeah, I'm the one after Gen X.
Isn't it a millennial? Aren't millennials?
No, I'm like that the crack generation.
I just, you know what? I found out I missed being a boomer by like that much. I did not miss being a boomer by as many years as I thought I did. I saw somebody like had it listed, and I'm not going to say what year I was born. I'm not dating myself that badly. You guys already know it was the 70s. That's all you need to know. But boomers ended in the 60s. I didn't think that. I thought that they ended in like the 50s.
Oh,
so
a cusper.
Is that what you are? Oh, I never. Yeah,
cusper,
no.
Like
in fact. So one of my friends from Land of the Lost is actually a boomer. I didn't realize that. So when I found that out, I wrote him. I'm like, hey, boomer. And then I sent him a picture to show him why I was saying that. I'm like, haha, you're a boomer and I'm not. Because I'm trying to know. He's the only person that I know. Like, I know a couple other people that are obvious boomers, but him, I was just really surprised that he fell into the boomer category by like that much. Let's see. Oh, because, you know, like House Millennial, but we still remember life before the internet. Oh, makes sense. Except you in Gen X, Melissa, who knew we were the generation to do stuff. Ah, ha, ha, ha. All right, Scott, you're losing points with me now. Like, you got a lot of points for the Malcolm Reed comments. You're losing me now. Anyway, guys, Thanksgiving's Thursday.
Oh, really?
The second episode of Discovery's Thursday, but we already saw it, so we can just not have to worry about watching that before any festivities we're doing. Those of us that went. But like I said, this is the last podcast until the season finale that I won't mention anything about it. So, Melissa, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks
you can come back. You can come back anytime and hang out.
Yay.
And everybody else, happy Thanksgiving. Live long and prosper, and I will see you next week.
Hey, this is Connor Turner. You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast with Stephanie. Enjoy your evening.